It's 1:05. He's 5 minutes late on 18th of August 2017. The weekend is just about to begin, and there's only one way to start the weekend in the right way, and that is with even the Journey Home and Biscuit Review live stream. But today, of course, it's a Bisquiz today. Here I am in my pub. We're here at the Space Bar, Mars Bar. My dad is finally proud of me because I now own my own pub. He knew that I would do something that he loved eventually, and now that I own a pub, the problem is that we're having the pool tables resurfaced at the moment, so he's a bit upset about that. But he is here. Apparently, he is coming on today, even despite the lack of pool tables in the pub this week. Last week, Peter. Barman Peter got a little bit excited when he was playing a round of pool, and my dad was pretty angry about it. Too much of a high angle with the stick, right into the scratched the entire pool table, and it would be fine. It ripped up the what do you call it? The cloth. I'm sorry. The felt. Is it felt? Is it felt? I don't know. I've got the message coming in from a magical. What was it? You're gonna have to say that. Velvet, felt, vase, phase, bays. Apparently, this is and this is from the mysterious voice that you cannot hear, but only I can hear. Bays, thank you, Just a D, B-A-I-Z-E. Anyway, right into the bays, and it would have been okay if Peter was just to do that just the once. We do every one of the pool tables, and we have 15 pool tables here at the Mars Bar, the Space Bar at the edge of the galaxy. So anyway, hey Perka, hey Big Fun Art, hey Just a D, hey Jacked In, hey Ascorbius, hey SII Warrior, hey Ooh Shiny. Thank you all so much for joining here today. Of course, today is the Bisquiz Day. And that means that, WNL will be joining us very shortly to run a Bisquiz, all about a topic that he has chosen himself this week. So it's a mystery topic that neither of us know, not me or you in the chatters. This is going to be, and I'm very sorry about this, but the last Bisquiz for a couple of weeks, because I'm off to Gamescom next week, and then the week after, I'm off to PAX West in Seattle. I know, it's a hard life traveling the world, but yeah, I know. Don't rest bottles, as Jacked In says. Do not rest bottles on the pool table. Peter, what are you serving up this week, Peter? No answer. I don't know where he's gone. To be honest, he's been laying low for quite some time, ever since ripping up the pool tables. So sorry about that. Anyway, yes, I know. I do. You've not authorised this. I'm sorry, Jacked In. I do apologise. But I know it's rubbish. But that's why I made sure, especially to come on with extra amounts of enthusiasm and a slightly camera unfriendly shirt. Because if you look, I'm sort of. There's a little static going on with me a little bit. I'm not sure if that comes across on the stream or not. Anyway, but yeah, what an exciting week it has been for, Elite Dangerous people. If you're from the Elite Dangerous crew, of course, the 2.4 beta is out right now, which is indeed very, very exciting. The closed portion of the beta, of course, there will be an open portion of the beta coming soon, in case that you don't have beta access already. It has some hints and some tips and some sneaky little bits in there about what's coming at the release of the Return 2.4. But remember, and I have repeated this over and over and over again in the forums, that the narrative is going to fold out in a different way. But that's not what this stream is all about. This stream is all about silly biscuits and Bisquizes and stuff like that. So in roughly 35 minutes time, I'll be reviewing today's biscuit. I'm not sure where this week's biscuit has come from, but perhaps somebody will be able to help me with that when we get around to reviewing it. But for now, hello Grief, by the way. Hello Perkat259. Oh, Jack Little would like a stale shandy. Sorry, we don't serve stale shandies here. We only serve fresh shandies. The TV is a bit broken, Stoops SX. But that's because I haven't tuned it in yet. So I think maybe it is time that we tuned in the TV a little. So I'm going to drop down the volume of there and use the automatic button here on my chair. Where is it again? I've lost it. Whoa! There you go. There it is. And you've got to be careful with these things. And then I think it's this one does the static. Yeah, that worked. And of course, we've got to dial up the volume. Are you receiving us, WNL?
Oh, loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Yes, and we're receiving you too. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. Yeah. Life is variously, exciting, then little bits of indifference, and then back to exciting. It's quite a roller coaster ride.
That's and as always, you're on brand there. Thank you very much, Frontier Developments, of course, the creator of Planet Coaster, a roller coaster building game. So thanks for including coasters in. Now, not only including coasters, but also in the chat before we began, you included a little space joke, didn't you? And I was wondering if you wanted to tell your little space joke, your little space dad joke, for the people here who are watching.
Well, I just said, what's the first thing you have to do if you're throwing a party in outer space?
I don't know what is the first thing that you have to do if you're throwing a party in outer space.
You plan it. Get it? Plan it?
No, it's one of your, I think it's one of your strongest comedy routines. Why did you quit the comedy circuit again?
Well, the only comedy circuit I ever did was with my sixth formers when I was a sixth form tutor, and it kept them awake in the morning. It was quite nice. They would sort of use moans and groans around the room as they awakened to the wit and humor of WNL.
Excellent. And also, somebody else had a good punchline, which is get the atmosphere going. But then there won't be atmosphere in outer space, but that might be why you need to get the atmosphere going. But
I like that.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good go. Orange Spark, of course, stealing that one. Demonaroth liked it. Yeah. Knots, however, that's more akin to my response. It's like weeping. Anyway, so as mentioned previously, you've picked the quiz round this week, haven't you?
I picked it. Yes. It was a rather arbitrary thing. Shall I tell you how I picked it?
Yeah. Yes. Please do.
I reached over on my desk upstairs and pulled out a dictionary.
Okay.
Closed my eyes and opened the dictionary. And the letter that appeared before me became the round.
Ah!
We have a letter round today.
Well, if there's anything that I love in this world, it is the chaotic nature of it. So yes, please let's do a letter round. What was the letter that you picked?
The letter today, folks, is the letter B.
My favourite letter.
B as in.
I'm afraid, unfortunately, B as in. Sorry, what?
Bays. Yeah.
B as in bays. Yeah, that's my favourite letter. So everybody, you're at a disadvantage because I study the word B. I like beads, I like beer, I like bears, I like bonanzas, I like batons, I like bevels.
You've got none of them yet. Yes.
Brown. I don't like brown. That's another word for heroin. I like Bacardi breezes. I don't like Bacardi breezes. They don't exist anymore. I like the brothers. That's all I like though. I don't like anything else.
Budapest.
But yeah, Boston.
Boston.
Oh, I have actually in my life said before once or twice that all the great cities in the world begin with the letter B, and that's Budapest, Brighton. Blackpool, which is not a city, but it's fine. Pardon?
Bognor Regis.
Boston, Bognor Regis. Biscuits. How could I forget Biscuits? Of course, Biscuits is the best B of all. All right, so sorry for being silly. We'll put people off Brussels, as if I'll put people off by being silly in this live stream. Sure. So today's quiz, that just means sort of general knowledge, but all the answers will
begin with the letter B.
Begin with the letter B.
If they don't begin with the letter B, you're wrong.
And
right.
So I've only got a casual 62 people against me today in the Bisc quiz, which is fantastic. Thanks for coming along, guys. But what are the rules?
The rules. Yes, the rules. Have to play by the rules, and the rules are, of course, that you don't see the chat stream. I do. I will take their first three answers and come up with consensus. If they don't strike consensus in the first three, I will take just that first answer. Okay, that will be their answer. Then I'll ask you for yours, and we'll see how the score is tot up. No cheating, no Googling, no anything else.
We'll know. We'll know exactly what you've done. All right, so I'm going to minimize the chatters now. Goodbye, chatters. Good luck. And let's see, who is the master of the bee? Who is the beekeeper? Oh! Right, you've gone now. So all I can see is WNL. The wonderful bar that I'm in, of course. The destroyed pool tables in front of me.
I had a difficulty with the pool table last night as well. I lost. We were in the semifinals of a competition, and yeah, we got thrashed 4-1.
Somebody asked if you're a member of Camera earlier.
I was at one point, to the point where I had about 15 different books for different years and different. Not now. I still attend beer festivals, but not a member of Camera right now. Sadly, I do have the beard though.
Yes, exactly. That's all you need is the camera beard. The camera beard and the camera belly. Beards, bees, and bellies.
When we actually went to a festival and we made fake beards to go over our real beards.
Right.
As a statement. It's quite good. Well received.
Is it an attention-seeking Lewis who likes to dress up in silly outfits? We're nothing alike, you and I.
Yeah. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, it's the letter B. It's question number 1. This B is the projecting edge of a hat. This B is the projecting edge of a hat.
Starting nice and easy, I see. By the way, we don't have a special. We haven't had a special for the last 2 weeks on the special board. I'm really sorry about that. I just forget to do it beforehand.
I have their answer.
It is a brim.
It is a brim. They also said brim. I would accept Bill, but brim is perfectly fine. Yes, brim or Bill. Yes.
Oh, did you have Bill written down? It sounds like you had Bill written down.
Oh no. I have. I was just about to show you, but then I would have shown you 9 other answers.
Yeah, that would have been.
I
classic.
have, but I've got written, but also accept Bill.
A brim. Yes.
Or Bill depends on the type of hat. Okay. Okay. Question number 2. It's one apiece. John Cleese played this faulty in Faulty Towers. John Cleese played this faulty in Faulty Towers. I have their answer.
Basil! Basil! That was me trying to be his wife.
Vanilla.
I always found that so strange that they slept in different beds. I always found that so odd. Like, what was going on there? Yes. What was her name?
Well, the actress was it Prunella Scales?
Yeah, but what's her name in the? Because Polly was the maid.
How about Mrs. Faulty?
Mrs. Faulty.
We with that, yes. Okay. Question number 3. Number 3, this city in upstate New York shares its name with a type of North American bison. This city in upstate New York shares its name with a type of North American bison. That's number 3.
City in New York, in upstate New York.
Upstate New York, yes. New York, not the answer, of course, but Albany is the actual capital, not New York City. And it's a nice big state, and upstate New York, there's a city that shares its name with a type of North American bison. What is it? I have their answer.
Oh no, I don't know this.
Right on the border with Canada.
I know this is going to annoy me when I get it. I'm going to be annoyed.
Think of those great falls near there.
Wait. Oh, it's gonna be such an obvious answer, and it's gonna really annoy me when. Oh, go on. God.
In North American, the New York cities, think about a buffalo. Oh, it's Buffalo. They're ahead. 2-1. There you go. Buffalo, New York. Yeah. It's a get hard. Yeah. There's time for a few more of those. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Question.
I thought it was it. I thought it was the end. I was just very disappointed that I thought it was the end.
Number four, and we're back over to those based tables. In billiards or snooker, this is the line drawn on the table parallel to the bottom cushion at a distance of 1/5 of the length of the playing area.
Base. No, I will say the question again.
It's that line that's drawn. You take the ball behind to break off and things like that. In billiards or snooker, it's a line drawn on the table parallel to the bottom cushion at a distance of 1/5 of the length of the playing area. It's the something line. Foul and pool, you can take your ball back behind that line to then in your visits. I have their answer.
Boundary line?
Boundary line.
The back line.
Sorry?
Back line.
The back line. Well, I suppose if you had a Boston accent, you could say, but it just doesn't quite work. No, it's the balk line. B-A-L-K.
No, it's the balk. Yeah, you know what? I didn't know that. I was never even going to be close to knowing that one, so I can't do the despair face for that one, unfortunately.
Okay, no despair.
More of just a, oh, that's interesting. Sorry, can you say it again to me? The answer?
Yeah, balk line.
Balk line. B-A-L-K?
B-A-U-L-K.
B-A-U-L-K. Balk line. Oh, I didn't know that. Did they get it?
They got it, yes.
Cheats! I call cheat. No, I don't really, of course. I trust all 60 of you to never cheat, ever.
Aficionados of the Green Bays, I'm sure. Yeah.
Duh! So they're at 3 till my 1, right?
3-1. There's time to catch up, possibly. Question number 5, halfway through. This is an aromatic herb of the genus Ocimum. Its leaves are used as a flavoring in savory dishes. An aromatic herb of the genus Ocimum, whose leaves are used as a flavoring in savory dishes. Think of your herbs and spices. Yes.
Don't give anything away.
I have their answer.
Is it a bay leaf?
I'll give you a clue. It begins with the letter B.
Everyone do some shots. Tequila. A bay leaf, is it not?
A bay leaf. Someone in their group said bay leaf as well, but that's not before. About 15 of them had said basil.
Oh, for
basil again.
Goodness sake!
For
goodness, he's used the answer basil twice, and you did that on purpose, didn't you? You went, oh, haha.
Okay, question number 6. The postal abbreviation is BC.
I really hope that you've got a third basil in here, because I've got a question with a third basil in here.
You do. What is the only Canadian province or territory which begins with the letter B? The postal abbreviation is BC. What is the only Canadian province or territory which begins with the letter B? I have their answer.
This has been one of the hardest quizzes for me.
It is a pretty tough.
I thought I was a master of the letter B, but apparently I am not.
I
thought I was the beekeeper.
BC. The only Canadian province or territory which begins with the letter B is...
Bognor Regis.
BC, not BR. The answer is British Columbia, which they got almost to a man and woman jack.
Is it getting less fun for you guys? Because I love this, but if you're winning every time as easily as this, what's the point? You know what I mean? Nobody wants to go along to win every single time. Where's the challenge? Where's the balancing in that? Balancing begins with a B.
I like some of their answers. You can't see them yet, but Vancouver and Massachusetts and
Massachusetts.
That's-
There you go. So did they get that right? They didn't get that right either.
oh no, they got it right. They got
Oh.
it. But then they had enough time to joke. You see,
Ah, I see.
Massachusetts. Yeah, that's an American saying that. Sorry, no, we're very nasal Americans. Okay, number 7. Okay, this sport was first included in the Olympics in 1936. This sport was first included in the Olympics in 1936. They've slowed down a bit here, Edward, so... I have their answer.
Badminton.
Badminton is exactly what they said, and you're both incorrect.
Oh.
First professional teams back in 1898, it's basketball.
Oh, is that right?
Basketball, first included in 1936, yes.
Wow, that's older than I would have expected, actually.
Older, yes.
Well, you learn something new every year. 1936.
1936.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? What I said there was, you learn something new every year, because I only have the attention span to learn one new thing every year. Everything else just goes. So I choose very wisely about that one thing that I learn every year, and I've learnt it that today. What was it again? 1930. I clearly haven't learned it. That's a joke. 1936 basketball.
First the Olympics, yes.
Just so everybody is fully aware that I'm not that much of an idiot. Next quiz question, please.
In the ancient Mayan civilization, no, this isn't the question. In the ancient Mayan civilization, they actually had a form of basketball, I think, but it often led to death. I think it was, some sort of ritual type thing. But they did have a basketball game that was even more dangerous than the one we have now.
Do they use people's heads as the ball?
Sure. I'll have to look it up now. It's just something. I read it in a Thomas Pynchon novel, so it's got to be true.
Oh, is this most likely nonsense? Okay, next question, please.
Okay, here we go. Question number 8. You're behind 5-1. Okay. Question number 8. This creeping plant with blue flowers shares its name with a brass instrument which is like a small trumpet. A creeping plant with blue flowers, and it shares its name with a brass instrument which is like a small trumpet.
This has been the hardest quiz for me, and I don't know what it is about it that's been so difficult.
I have their answer. It's on the basis of consensus. There were 2 answers.
I can't even think of the small instrument that begins with a B.
A small brass instrument, like a small trumpet. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
A bugle?
Bugle. There was a wonderful, really greasy corn snack in America called Bugle. I say a few decades ago. But I used
They
to...
still exist.
Bugles. Bugle is correct. Well done. And they got it as well. Okay.
Fantastic. Oh, yes, I'm back in. Can I win?
Back
Can I catch up?
You've doubled your score. No, you can't catch up.
Can't believe I've only got 2 out of 10. This is a disaster.
2 more to go. 2 more to go. Number 9.
Sorry, I'm going tired today. I was up all night trying to fix these pool tables.
Well, I've got some friends who could do it for you. But they
Can they make it out to the Mars bar, which is in the middle of the galaxy? It's like I'm about 30,000 light years away from Sol.
Okay.
Can they get there?
Hey, they'll try. They'll bill you first, and then they'll get there. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Number 9. Next to last in today's scintillating letter B round. Okay. Founded in the 14th century.
You could have used a word B. You could have used a B word, a B adjective.
B adjective.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah, I could have.
Bombastic.
Always. Okay, question. We're halfway through it. Founded in the 14th century, this is the capital of Romania. Founded in the 14th century, this is the capital of Romania. Blustering,
Bodacious.
Bodacious. I have their answer. Okay. Middle European city. Capital of Romania. What is it, Edward?
I'm really ashamed that I don't know this one. I don't know.
What do we sometimes look at the end of the quiz, and then sort of you can stretch that out?
I mean, we look at books, but I mean, books. Bucharest. Bucharest.
Bucharest is correct. Well done, Ish. And they got it as well. Bucharest.
Oh, Bucharest!
Just to stop. Yeah. Okay. We have.
I need.
Question. Are you ready for
Bucharest right now? Oh, there's one more question.
one more question? Question number 10. You're behind 7 points to 3. No attack from the morass. Yes.
Morass.
Wherever you are.
God, give me it. Okay.
Okay, here you go. This saint, who lived from the year 330 to 379, was the brother of Saint Gregory of Nyssa. He was known as the Doctor of the Church, and his feast day is June the 14th. A saint who lived from 330 to 379, the brother of Saint Gregory of Nyssa. He was known as the Doctor of the Church, and his feast day is June the 14th. I have their answer.
Bernard.
You're saying Bernard. They said, Brian, Benedict, Bob, Bartholomew, St. Bob, Barry.
St. Barry. That's my favourite one. Bart Simpson.
I just cannot believe that neither you or the chatters got this correct. It's Basil.
Oh, no, he did it! He did it. I can't believe it. Even after I mentioned it earlier on that there's going to be a third Basil. I have a fourth one for you.
Okay.
Basil the Great what detective?
Basil the Great. Oh, I've seen the cartoon. Does it begin with B? Oh, it's just Basil. The Basil begins with a B.
But also another Basil. Basically, said the great detective. What's his name?
He's a mouse who wears a detective's hat, a Sherlock Holmes.
So, Basil the Great what detective?
Mouse detective.
That was the question. But yeah, of course, the answer didn't begin with M. But you could have switched it around. But I realise now that I couldn't have done the same question because I already gave it away that it was beginning with a B and it was Basil. So there you go.
Everything begins with a B. Yes.
So absolute, wonderfully brilliant trick question there at the end. Got us. Absolutely smashed us. Brilliantly done. Triple Basil. Hello, the Honey Thief. I can read it. I am now aware of your words. We got absolutely bamboozled once more, says Orange Spark. Very good. And if you could all pay a compliment to WNL for bringing us the quiz today, but make sure that it is a compliment that begins with the letter B, or at least includes a B within there. And please try to be brilliantly nice. Brilliant.
Make them bearable. Yes.
Bearable. There you go. Thank you. Brilliant brain teasers. Bodacious. Bravo. Aha. Brilliant. Very good. Look how wonderful the people here are. So thanks very much for coming along as again, WNL, for blessing us with this these brain teasers. But what is the next quiz going to be? What's the next quiz going to be about? I know, well, in fact, it's 2 weeks away. I'm so sorry, everybody, but this is the last quiz for a couple of weeks. But what is the next quiz going to be about? Any suggestions in the chat, please? So we've got the letter T, the letter C, a blast. Oh, someone say it's a blast. It could be about travel. We could do one about travel. We could do one about beer, about... yeah, we've got the next 26 quizzes featured. Letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D, letter E, letter F. Crop rotation in the 16th century, very specific, Jack Little. Space missions. Summer holidays. It's a nice one. Samuel Pepys. How about bees? And yes, this quiz has been brought to you by the letter B. Commander Shiny. I don't know what you're talking about. I know it's not going to be about that. Influential figures. The Honey Thief says they'd smash the crop rotation quiz. Anything there that's appealing to you?
Well, hey, they all sound good. This idea of summer vacations and travel leads it nicely wide for me to go off on tangents. Maybe we should try that.
And then eventually, maybe the one afterwards, we do Biscuits Volume 2. We finally go back to the Bisquiz roots and do another Bisquiz. Perhaps that'll be a good idea. So, of course, at the end of the live streams, the one thing that we do as well, once we've decided that, is we say, hey, WNL, what's on your shelf this week?
What's on my shelf this week? Actually, I almost brought down, talking about Samuel Pepys, I almost brought down a biography of Pepys that I'm reading. But it was actually too heavy. So I brought down something a little bit lighter. Well, not really lighter in content, but it's the Selected Tales of Edgar Allan Poe.
Ah, very good. Quoth the Raven, nevermore.
That's right. Once upon a midnight, very well I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore. While I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. Yeah. They're wonderful, the short stories, things like Ligeia. They're strange. Someone who goes so insane and doesn't like the sound of, well, and pulls out all her teeth, locking people behind partitioned walls and things like that while they're still alive. Orangutans stuffing bodies up chimneys. If you haven't read any Edgar Allan Poe, be ready, of course, for the 19th century, verbiage, but do read them. They're fun.
Okay. I will, and I should. And maybe I'll come and steal it from your bookshelf at some point in the near future.
Why not?
All right, so we've roughly got a few more minutes until it's time for the Biscuit review. So we're just going to kill some time here a little bit. But first of all, what we'll do is we'll say goodbye to you, sir. And thank you very much for coming along. And again, I'm sorry, but it'll be 2 weeks. So that's 2 weeks before I'll speak to you again. That's not true. I promise you, I'll actually give you a call this time because we're way overdue a long chat.
You heard him, folks. He's going to give me a long chat on the telephone.
Yeah. Sorry, you're breaking up. Can't hear you. Can't hear you anymore. I'm afraid you've gone. Bye. He's waving, but you can say bye still. You're still on here. God, I can't reach.
Goodbye.
There you go. Well, there you go. WNL. Are you ready? Yes, actually, I will actually genuinely call you. Seen of it. He says it every time. That's why it's a joke. All right. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll probably go to the back soon screen. I'll go and prepare a cup of tea, and it will be time for today's Biscuit review. Perhaps I'll grab a guest reviewer because we only get to do these rarely these days, or maybe I'll be just nice and focused this time. But it's good to see everybody being here and spending so much time with me, watching this with me, and having such a lovely time. It genuinely does make my week coming on to do these, so thanks. And I'm sorry that I'm not going to be here for a couple of weeks. Anyway, back soon screen, that way it'll give me some time to go and make a cup of tea and bring in a guest. But in about 2 to 3 minutes time, I'll be back and we'll begin the Biscuit review. So see you in a second. Bye. It's 13:45, and that could mean one thing and one thing only, that it's time for today's Biscuit Review! Do you want to shuffle over this way, because we're right in the middle of the camera? With my wonderful producer friend, also wearing a shirt that is slightly uncamera friendly, like I am.
It's not going to be the greatest.
What I did was I walked around, and I went, who's got a shirt on that's not camera friendly, that's going to cause chaos, just like mine is. If you move quickly enough, which become blurs, like a strange... Anyway, this is Lloyd Morgan Moore. If you don't know Lloyd already, Lloyd is a producer on Elite Dangerous. He also worked you did a lot of the work on the PS4 side.
I did, yes.
Passing that over. Thank you very much for that. And so everybody, welcome Lloyd Morgan Moore to the chat. Now, have you ever seen? I know the answer to this, so I'll ask you the question and then I'll answer it as well. Have you ever seen one of these Biscuit review live streams before? No, Ed. No, I have not seen one of these Biscuit live streams before. But that's why I'm trying to drag everybody in the office in, so then they'll start watching it and then that'll up my numbers.
That's it, you'll get numbers up,
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So thanks very much for coming on. I sauntered over to your desk and I leant in and I said, do you like Biscuits? And you're like, you tapped your rich tea.
Yeah, I've got my own individual packet of rich teas on the desk. I said, yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Apart
I'm
from
a fan of biscuits. Apart from anything with peanuts in, because I'm allergic to them.
Because you will die.
I don't fancy dying while I'm enjoying a biscuit, really.
Well, anyway, yeah. So Commander Silmar says, what's a biscuit review, Ed? Well, let me tell you what a biscuit review is. First of all, we've got our cups of tea. We've got our biscuits for this week. But there's something else that we need that will assist us in our epic quest to review all these biscuits.
Okay.
And that is somewhere buried deep in these folders. Where is it? It's literally disappeared.
You have a special biscuit folder.
There's an official biscuit
like tasting notes.
Spreadsheet. Nice. Yeah?
Excellent.
So that's all the information you need. At the top, we've got the name, the appearance, the taste, the texture, durability, drinkability, the posting, the taste, the satisfaction, and moisture in the total. Thank you, Lloyd.
Excellent.
That is the exact response that I want when people come and see this. Wow!
Just
Wow! And then
slowly back away and leave the room.
Oh, I do apologise. The music is too loud. The music has now been lowered down. It's because I wasn't wearing it on my head, so to hear the music.
What have we got?
Ooh. Sorry, Lord Braben demands less music. I turned it down. Thank you, Revian. Thank you for the hints.
I like the fact you've disqualified some as other things.
Yeah.
I appreciate that level of dedication.
Thank you very much. What do you think of the number 159? This is the 159th biscuit that we'll be reviewing because, of course, number 1 is the thing.
That's really cool. It's like you're actually dedicated to it. It's not just a one-off thing. I like this. This appeals to the sort of inner me that's going, make sure everything's lined up correctly and do it properly.
Look at this as well. People come along so often. We've got Haratley there, who's like, just show the biscuit, just show it. Just need to see what biscuit is this week. Well, I will. It is the Zlaté. Oh, we've got some fantastic problems going on with the chroma key. But this is it's called the Zlaté or Zlaté from Opavia, and it's Kolecka eskozem polomachene vel mleklene kukolad, which is everyone's favourite. But of course, in this game, it's not a game. The game of life.
Let the games begin.
Let the games begin. In the game of biscuits. What am I doing?
Biscuit reviews.
Biscuit reviews, that's where we are. Sorry, thank you for bringing me back. 159, nearly 160. In this review, there's no points for packaging, but if there was points for packaging, it would be fine. So let's
It'd be fine.
Just fine. It's nothing special, is it? Let's crack it open and see what's going on. Now, there are points for
do you do like a smell test, an initial smell test?
There's no... I mean, that goes... For me, that goes in sort of... In the satisfaction, moisture and the overall thing, and the taste, it all wraps up. But first of all, what I need to do is put in the title of it, which is Opavia
Zlaté.
Zlaté.
Probably mispronouncing everything here.
Kolecka. Yes. And first of all, they look to be some sort of... There's a picture of coconuts on the front, as you can see, coconuts, and also some sort of leaf. But I don't imagine that it's leaf flavoured.
I imagine that's from the coconut.
The coconut tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope so. It's not.
I'm glad that you're here because I would have thought it would be a leaf flavoured.
You never know.
Coconut biscuit.
I mean, we can't read any of the ingredients or anything, so.
Okay. I have a question for everybody. Is anybody from wherever this comes from, the Czech Republic, and have they had them before? Please do let me know.
It's a good call, actually.
This biscuit is particularly delicious alongside a stale shandy.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
What? All right. So you take one, or you take two as well. Depends on how many. Well, I'll leave the. Yeah.
I'm just going to inspect it just carefully.
Well, that's good. So hold up to the camera. As you can see, it's
if you
there.
hold the back of it, I've got the front.
Oh, this is why we invite Lloyd on. He understands it. He gets it. I'm going to make this bigger, so then people can see more clearly.
So you can see the sheen on the chocolate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it goes out of focus, so you have to.
You can still see.
He's right. It's getting a bit sort of soft on my hands, isn't it?
Yeah, the chocolate's melting a little bit.
That's doing the same for you. Oh gosh, it's just so pouring down with rain outside. What do you think of the overall appearance? I think it's quite nice.
It is quite nice.
It's like it's got a nice. It looks a bit brighter on the camera, but in real life, there's a dark brownness to the bake of the biscuit, which I think is really, really lovely. Nice there's a lovely star shape in the centre, so it's not just a hole. They've got a little star shape, and the ridges on the matching the ridges on the outside. Good layer of chocolate. It looks kind of. It feels quite wholesome. I like the look of it.
Is very reminiscent of a chocolate digestive.
Yeah.
Same finish.
Same finish. You've got like the
sort of waves in it. Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say about the composition of the biscuit in terms of appearance?
Nice crispy base.
Yep.
It's not really the appearance.
Oh, the jagged lines on there are quite nice.
You've got
as
a nice sort of bake in the bottom.
Yeah, sort of, you can sort of see the jagged lines. Yeah, looks a little bit melty on the bottom. That's true as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of 10, what would you give it? And you can go for points in the middle.
I'm going to give it.
Coconut smell is quite strong, isn't it?
Yeah, it is quite strong. I'm going to give that a 7.
Okay with coconut. You're not going to die from.
I'm not going to die from
coconut.
No, it's literally just peanuts. I've been actually testing various different nuts, just trying them, hoping I don't die from them. So, yeah.
Near a hospital when you do it, just in case.
Yeah. Got my epinephrine pen ready
within
just to jab it into my thigh.
falling range of a hospital. Sorry, go on. Out of 10.
I'll give it a 7.
That's all right. I think we've got a generous person on our hands here, but that's good. 7.3 I'm going to go for.
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, no, that's
Taste.
all good.
Let's go for it. Arguably,
okay.
The most important part of the biscuit is the taste.
No, I must say, I'm not a fan of coconut, so this will be interesting to see what this is like. It's got a very good crunch to it.
That comes in texture.
Crunch all the way through, important.
The crunch is all the way through, it's good. It's good texture. The soft chocolate on top really adds to the
I have to say, actually, although I don't like coconut, that's delicious.
It's delicious, isn't it? It's very good.
It's got just enough coconut in it.
It's the best coconut biscuit I've reviewed on here so far.
Right, okay.
I hope, as in when it all adds up, I hope it's higher than basically the one I think is coconut rings.
Oh, okay.
But I don't want to spoil anything by looking through the list before we finish it off. A light dose of coconut.
Yep.
A good butteriness. Doesn't feel. Doesn't feel synthetic. Doesn't feel overly sweet. Just the right level. Yeah, I think it's good. I think
and actually, the coconut lingers in the mouth afterwards. The taste of it
in a nice way.
But you don't end up with those. I hate it when you get those little bits of coconut, the desiccated coconut.
I feel that a little bit in my mouth in the texture.
But they don't stay behind.
8.
Yep. No, I'd agree with that.
Texture. We both thought it was great.
Texture, yeah, fantastic. 8,
right? Matching. Do you think the texture was better than the taste?
I think they're about on level. I think you're right, yeah. 8 and 8.
Durability. So durability is how many crumbs that you can basically see around you after eating it. How many crumbs did you get on your legs? What's going on?
There's no crumbs on my legs. There's some on the chair.
Yeah. So it's not terrible though.
No.
It's very handleable. You wouldn't be annoyed about it. You'd be like, okay.
Do you take into account the chocolate melting quite?
Yeah, I do as well. I like to think about that whole sort of structure thing, and that did bother me a little bit, getting it on my fingers, getting the chocolatey melt there.
I must admit.
Yeah.
There's a bit of chocolate left over, but it's not too bad.
Okay. Great. Durability. It's not too bad, but it's not perfect. It's a 6.8. Yeah?
Yeah, I'll go with
It's
that.
not like a... Because the chocolate... Actually, no lower for the chocolate reasons. 6.3.
Slightly 6.3?
Yep.
To the lower end of the
Dunkability.
Dunkability is...
So now, this is where you got enough biscuit, but I might have to go for a fresh one.
Right, okay. Mine is still intact throughout the centre.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's good structurally. So what we do is we hold up to the camera, we dunk it in, we hold it in for 3 seconds.
3 seconds exactly.
Did you know that there was some scientific research done, and apparently 3.3 seconds is the optimum time to dunk a biscuit? Okay, you ready? Hold up the camera to show. 1, 2, 3, and reveal, but hold it over the cup just in case it falls in.
Well, seems
looking
to have
good.
remained intact. Yeah.
We're going to go for a double dunk.
Okay.
1. So serious. 3. Oh gosh!
Yours is gone.
Mine went just like complete surprise.
To be fair,
Didn't
I've
even
only
last.
put a small portion in. So,
Oh no,
we
there it
go.
is. Yeah,
That's
very
gone.
surprising. Very surprising indeed. That was a surprise. No tapping.
Surprise
No
fall,
tapping
no
of
tapping.
shiny. Surprise fall in there. Splash down. Oh crumbs, says Revian. Probably in a minute.
So let's see what.
Good though, right? Very good.
The way that chocolate melts.
It has to be a short, sharp dunk.
Yep, 1 dunk. I think you could get away with 1 dunk of 3 seconds.
But I still only puts it at about 3.6. Because most biscuits, you'd be surprised, can last in there for a long
They
time.
will withhold, yeah.
But it did taste spectacular, I would say. So I'm going to go for an 8.2. Basically, did you think it improved the taste?
Yeah.
I think it did. I like the way it softened up the... such nonsense. I'm so sorry, Lloyd. Every time,
Honestly, this is absolutely fine.
every time you
I
come
love
on,
this sort of
every
thing.
time you come onto a live stream, I always feel like I need to apologise afterwards.
No, don't worry about it.
All right.
It's great. I love this kind of stuff.
Great. All right. So, satisfaction. Throw caution. Throw science. I know that this entire experience has been very scientific for you. But let's throw science to the wind.
Okay.
How
Satisfaction.
satisfied do you feel after eating it? After finishing one?
Oh, it's a difficult one. I put it on about a 7.
Really?
It's really, really nice. The one thing I will say is it's going to come on to the next one. It's quite moreish. So I'm not fully satisfied because I do want more.
Okay. Yeah. 7.2.
Okay.
And then moreish. How much do you want?
Mourishness, I'd eat these for all afternoon.
I could finish all those
Yeah.
in one sitting.
This is one of those biscuits where I sit down in an evening and go,
And I've
I'll
had
just have a biscuit.
and I had a big lunch as well.
Yeah.
So it's not even as if I'm just hungry.
No, I've literally just finished my lunch and I could happily...
It was good. What I find sometimes in biscuits is that you get their way to... We've done a lot of biscuits. They're very synthetic tasting, very as if they've been put together in a oh, I don't know what the right word is. I think it's just synthetic. You know, that feeling of...
Yeah, so you've got like flavourings as opposed to actual ingredients or
actual
something.
ingredients. So this feels like natural ingredients. The coconut feels like real coconut. It doesn't feel like it's overpowering. It's got great crunch to it. Lovely amount of chocolate. It's good, isn't it?
The chocolate is actually really nice as well. Because some biscuits, when you get them, they've cheaped out the chocolate, but they really haven't.
Can I say, Lloyd, this is probably the most informative biscuit review I've ever done. Usually it goes into a bit more chaotic mess, but this one we've actually...
This is it, we're nailing it.
Yeah, I think we found the real biscuit reviewer right here. All right, so mourishness is high. We said it's high. We said it's very high, so it's going to have to be a 9, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
It has to be. It's a very good biscuit. Let's see where it fits. Unfortunately, the dunkability and the durability is going to knock it down, so we'll see where it lands. But I think it might be in the 60s. Oh, just under the 60s, 57.6.
Where does that place it?
That places it. Well, let's find out in the most... I'm sure there's a way I can do this that's more efficient. I get told off every time by people in the chat. 50... What was it? 57.6?
Yep. Oh, is that Thunder?
It was Thunder.
Yes.
In...
Biscuit gods.
The biscuit gods have spoken. And it's in its 77th place, which isn't as high as I thought it would be. It was that
It's the dunkability that's brought it down, isn't it? Yeah.
Which is kind of silly if you think about it too much, because, well, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well,
it is.
It's an important thing, you know, dunkability.
I think so, but at the same time, it's more how much it tastes, not how long you can dunk it for.
I guess so, but it's always nice to be able to keep dipping your biscuit. That's going to sound so much like a euphemism.
No. You got away with it. I think you. So congratulations to the Opavia Zlaté Kolecka. I thought it was lovely, which is
really
a shame.
good.
I mean, let's not insult the spreadsheet. At this point, I don't even know who made the spreadsheet anymore. I think it was me, but it was a former version of me.
Right.
Therefore, it has transcended anything that I can make a decision on. I'm not allowed to change the spreadsheet anymore, even though I made it originally.
Okay.
So
you're
I don't
stuck
know
with
anymore.
this.
I don't know what happens. I don't know who is the manager of it. I'm stuck with it, but we're all stuck with it in the same way that we're all stuck here on this planet. You know, it's become a bit more of a spiritual thing. We're stuck here on this earth. We don't really know what the purpose is. You know, and we've got these biscuits, and there's only one thing that we can do is conduct these rites
Yep.
once a week to eventually earn our freedom. All right, thanks, Lloyd, for coming here today.
That's quite right. That's been good.
Do you want to come join me in the pub for a sec?
Smashing. What's today's special? Oh,
There's no special
there
today.
isn't a special.
Sorry.
Just can't be bothered.
Just can't be. No, I didn't have time to put it up because Peter, the barman,
Right.
ruined all. You can see all the pool tables here. Look at the
Just
pool, look
smashed
at the
them to
pool,
pieces.
look at the pool
So
tables.
they're terrible.
Yeah, he on the bays, he was playing pool, and he ripped up the bays on most of the pool tables. 15 pool
Disgraceful
tables.
behaviour.
I know. So this is where we put the music up slightly, like this, and we say thank you so
Dramatic
much.
fading. That's quite right.
And then we look at this list here, and we say goodbye to everybody, and it takes ages. Thank you so much this week to Azirich Good, All-Seeing Llama, Baby Monk, Big Fun Art, Commander Benkai, Commander Shiny, Commander Rod Wadar, Commander Silmar, Commander Wilkie, Commander Scorpius. So many commanders. I feel like we should get people of different ranks in at some point. Commander Halloran, Commander Miggles, 314,159, Commander Cabrian, oh no, just Cabrian, Calorix, and Direct Live. Would you like to take some more? Would you like to take some of them?
Ifrit, how do you pronounce that? I know why you passed over to me now.
E3TM.
E3TM, Inathal, Fagwent, Freckly Femme, Frontier Developments.
We're fired.
Dax Kang 0, Gizmo 2000, Heno TM.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not me for 6. Heracli, that. If Flyan X-Wing?
I fly an
X-Wing. There you go.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Igorski, Jack Din, Jack Little, thank you so much, Jester D, JJ smashing _ pumpkins, JSB 3213, not _ Laser Mink, Loreth, Mac DK, Magel, and Multi 71.
Max Ursa, McCurtains, Millstone Barn, Neil OC, Orange Spark, Paco the Sage, Paul Archer, Pomona, I presume that's Netherlands, Ploets, Percat 259, Red Gremlins, Revian,
Crumbs,
Say Warrior,
yes!
Denari Renell, Snooslep, Stephen Carey, Stink Eye,
and Soupy Steve Tamaru Hack, the Mix-It Man. He likes to mix it. And he's a man and he wants everyone to know. The Honey Thief, Uber Dodo, Unky Steve, Wicked Willie, XRG47.
Zookeeper's Girl.
Everything in my life has led up to this exact moment. Now, what does that say about me? Love you, everybody. Have a lovely weekend. And again, I'll be streaming on Monday at twitch.tv/Frontier Developments. But this is the last Biscuits for a couple of weeks, I'm afraid. I forgot the first 5. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I got them.
Did we miss it?
No, I don't think so. Should we go back and do the list again? No, I'm not joking. Thanks so much, Lloyd. Cheers.
That's
Will
right.
you come back and do a Biscuit review in the future?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, wonderful. And I look forward to that moment. And yeah, see you all next time.
Bye, everyone.